You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a successful motivational speaker and trusted life coach, Nancy knows how you can live the life you want regardless of the challenges you face. Although she's legally blind, Nancy's mission is to inspire others to overcome obstacles and live life full out. Call in at 800-333-0001 to ask Nancy for advice on topics such as relationships, finances, business, health, and more. Just call 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Hello and welcome to the Living Full Out Show. I'm Nancy Solari, and today we're going to be talking about strength. There's always going to be times in our life when we need different types of strength. It might be a physical strength, one of those days where we got to help someone move, right? We need that physical strength. Or maybe it's a day when we need emotional support to come through and we need to be strong for somebody else to get them through a hard time. Maybe we need to be mentally strong, have a strong mindset to get through a long day, to power through. Wherever you need strength in your life, I want you to take that time in this hour to think about where in your life can we give you that strength, give you that motivation so you can feel empowered as you go throughout your day today and onward through the rest of the week. So we're going to be talking about strength. We're also going to be taking your calls. Again, that number is 800-333-0001, 800-333-0001. Also coming up in our next segment, we're going to be joined by Tiffany DiDonato. Her story is truly amazing. She was actually a dwarf, born very small, but then she went through a controversial surgery, gained 14 inches to be 4'10". It's an extraordinary story, and really she had to have a lot of strength to get through those surgeries, so stay tuned for that. Also, if you have a story to share, we'd love to hear from you. Perhaps you can be one of our guests on an upcoming show. The email address to contact us at is connect@livingfullout.com. And also, if you have questions about how you can harness strength in your life, how you can feel empowered on a daily basis, we want to give you those resources. Again, that's connect@livingfullout.com. Again, if you want to hear this episode again or any of our shows, go to livingfullout.com, click on the radio show tab, and all of our show episodes will be waiting there for you. We want to make sure that you are living full out in every which way you can each and every day. Now, I'm getting word from our producer that we do have a caller on the line, so we're going to go say hello to them. Hello, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for calling in. How can we help you today?
Well, I'm getting close to retirement age, and I'm naturally an introvert, although I've learned how to be extroverted at work. But I'm concerned that, or a little worried that I might be, once I retire, kind of shut myself off from the rest of the world and kind of isolate myself. So I have concerns about that.
Well, and you know what? Those are good concerns. And here's the thing. Here's the funny thing about life. What we think could and will happen. What we believe in our heart, like when we let anxiety or concern enter our heart, enter our mind, it gives those concerns power. So you want to take the power back. You want to say, woohoo, I'm retiring, right?
Yeah.
This is
exactly.
Right? This is your story. You're the author of your life. So if you choose to write that new chapter on retirement, doom and gloom and concern and anxiety and being an introvert, then that's the way it'll write out. However, if you choose to say, you know what, I'm going to package those concerns and put them in the fear bucket, right? And if everybody doesn't know, fear stands for false evidence appearing real. It's not real. So these concerns that you have in advance, they're just not real thoughts. What you want to do is focus on, woohoo, what can I do? What are all these things? What's on my bucket list? I want to take that cruise. I want to learn a new craft. I want to see friends. What would be one thing that you're going to do day one? I don't have to go to work. What are you going to do?
Oh, my gosh.
Day one.
I don't know. What do I want to do? Go get lunch with my friends at the beach.
Love it. Love it.
And then spend time reading a book. I love reading.
Okay, so hey, you got number one, going to the beach with friends. Number two, reading a book. I want to give you a homework assignment. I want you to come up with 100 things. 100 things. They could be anything. It could be taking a bike ride. It could be going hiking. It could be looking up childhood friends that you haven't talked to in decades. It could be putting together a scrapbook. It could be finally organizing all these different things in our house that we never have time for. Put together a list of 100 things, and I promise, come day one, that Monday morning when you would have gone to work, you'll be like, I am too busy. How did I ever work in the first place? Right?
Yeah.
Right.
No, good idea.
Awesome.
Good idea.
Well, go out there, live
Thank you
full
so
out.
much.
And I can't wait to retire. So you just enjoy it for all of us. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Have fun. Thank you for calling in.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I love that. I love that. She asked a great question, but I think honestly she's going to be A-okay. In fact, I think we should all put together that 100 list of things we're going to do when we retire. I'll start that for myself today. So we're actually going to go back to the phone lines again, check in with one of our callers. Hello, welcome to the Living Full Out Show. Hi, thank you for calling in.
Hi.
Hi. So what's going on? How can we help you today?
Yeah, I just spent the last 6 months abroad, and I've just been struggling a little bit coming home after that. Do you have any suggestions for how someone can best acclimate to new environments after being gone for extended periods of time?
You know what? I have so been where you are because I went to Japan for many, many months, and I came back and I still had that awkward feeling just like you do. So I get it. Where did you go?
Right.
Where did you go?
I spent my semester in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Awesome. Now, here's the question. Did you learn anything while you were there?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I learned a lot.
You learned a lot, right? You probably learned about foods. So maybe foods that you can come back here and maybe learn to cook, or maybe you can go to a restaurant near you or a nearby city near you that would cook those type of foods. Maybe you learned about dancing or, different things culturally, things that they create, or, just the history. What you want to do is you want to come back and share that with people. Share your pictures, share your stories, and not just what you learned, but those funny moments. Because I remember when I was in Japan, I did this, it was a cake eating ceremony, like a tea ceremony. And it was very, very formal. I was in my kimono and all this, and it came to me, this cake, and I cut the cake, and my half rolled on the floor. And I heard ladies go, the gasp. But it was a funny story. So when I came back, I told that story, and many, many others. So what you want to do is you want to bridge the gap between where you've been and where you are. And you do that by sharing with people what you learned, what you did, those funny stories. At the same time, let other people catch you up on what they've been doing, right? So then you turn the tables.
Right.
What have you been up to? And you let them share everything they've been doing. Now your two
Absolutely.
worlds are coming together. Now you're not feeling like you're out of the loop. Now you're not feeling like no one can relate to your experiences. Do you see that?
Absolutely, definitely. It's a great idea.
Yeah, and honestly, what a great place to go. It's actually on my bucket list to go there. So I am very happy for you that you experienced it. But just go out there, live full out.
You
and
definitely should. It's incredible.
It is incredible. So promise me this. In the next, let's say 5 days, so I'm giving you quite a long time, I want you to reach out to 2 people and share with them your experiences, and then flip it around and ask them what they've been up to during the time that you were gone, and bridge that gap. Okay?
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much for calling in.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. So everybody's
Bye.
asking such great questions. The thing is when we talk about strength is one of those things where sometimes we have to have the strength to ask somebody, like calling into the show, ask somebody for help, because we're all in this journey together, right? We're all going to have different experiences. Our first caller is nearing retirement. Our second caller just came back from studying abroad. Who knows who else is going to call during the show? All the challenges that we're dealing with, all the connections, all of that comes from needing to have strength. And where does strength come from? Strength comes from knowing who you are. So one assignment for everybody today is I want you to go and look in the mirror. Okay, unless you're blind or legally blind like I am, then you might have to picture the mirror and picture this visual. But I want you to look in the mirror and I want you to tell yourself what you are proud of about yourself from a strength standpoint. I know this may sound like a silly thing, but sometimes I will look in the mirror, even though I can't see my face, and I will say, you are so strong. I can't believe you worked this 12, 13-hour day. And I'll just encourage myself. And it all starts there. Remember, you're your strongest advocate. You're your best friend. And you're the author of your story. So we're going to be coming right back with our inspirational guest, Tiffany DiDonato. Again, her story is one you don't want to miss. So stay tuned. This is the Living Full Out Show. I'm Nancy Solari, and we will be right back.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Drop that baby.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
I adopted Bento from a shelter, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
Connor is struggling in school.
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. This is what it feels like for kids with learning and attention issues. Redirecting to understood.org.
Across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, helping solve child hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Your daughter is having trouble learning French. Do you A, hire a tutor?
Bonjour.
B, enforce a French-only rule at home? Or C, watch some foreign films? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same. You've messed up your son's haircut. Do you try to fix it? Work with what you've got? Or show solidarity?
Thank you, babe. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Hamilton
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. A professional motivational speaker, Nancy can help you overcome obstacles and start living full out. Call in with questions live at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Thank you for joining us today. I'm Nancy Solari, and this is the Living Full Out Show. And today we're talking about strength and how we can get more strength in our life to get through those challenging times. Now, I want to introduce our inspirational guest today, Tiffany DiDonato. Honestly, I don't even know where to begin with how amazing Tiffany is, because the fear, the concern about these controversial surgeries that she did, again, you just have to hear the story and how inspiring it is. But Tiffany actually grew up as a dwarf. She was shorter and smaller than everyone in her family. But the thing is, she didn't just settle for that. She knew that she had bigger dreams and ambitions for herself. And not just the dreams and ambitions that we may have for career and family, all of that, but just simple things like switching a light, being able to do things for herself. And she made those dreams and realities come true. I'd like to welcome Tiffany to the show. Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. Nice to hear from you. So,
same here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, man, you are a standout. Are you kidding me? I'm the lucky one today. So, no, I'm telling you, I'm like nervous. My leg is shaking. I'm with a celebrity here. But I just want to kind of take our audience back just a bit, okay? Because we all have different ways in which we grew up, right? I mean, everyone's got their story. However, yours is one that's truly unique. Only others who have walked in the same path as you could relate. But at what age did you start to notice, that you were different in size than, say, others in your family or your friends?
I first noticed that, I wasn't quite measuring up, I guess you could say, pun intended, when I was about 5 or 6 years old, and I got trapped inside my school bathroom, and I couldn't get out.
When you say trapped, what does that mean exactly? Could you not open the door?
Yeah, so if you can envision, heavy fire doors, just the height that it takes and the strength to really pull those doors open and push them forward. At my height and my strength, I didn't have the angle to do so. So I'd go into the bathroom, and I would often wait for, somebody who was taller to kind of push the door open, like squeeze right through. But then they left before me, before I was done using the restroom, and I was stuck. I could not only just grip the handle because it was up so high, but I couldn't even pull. And I sat there for a while on the floor, and that's when I was thinking, okay, there's something going on here. I can't get this door. What's happening? And I remember very distinctly thinking to myself, maybe it was the Kool-Aid. I wasn't allowed to drink Kool-Aid as a child. Maybe that's what made me different in my childhood mind, just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
That was the first moment.
It's funny, Tiffany, I can actually appreciate that, because there's even times today, and I'm in my 40s, that I get stuck in the bathroom because I can't find the door. I can't see the door. So I can appreciate just kind of hanging out, having that moment. Please, somebody open that door. Or will I spend my entire life in this bathroom?
Withering away in a bathroom. Please, somebody come in, look for me.
Now, it's interesting because your teacher was not supportive, but your dad, in a silent way, was supportive. Can you share with us what they did?
Well, so when you say supportive, so my dad was not supportive of the surgery.
Not of the surgery, yeah.
Right. But the teachers, I was never bullied by my peers. I was always bullied by teachers because it would cause them to kind of go out of the box and against the grain of what, the norm is for every other child. So they had to adapt and do something different from me, and that didn't go over well. So I went home, and my dad, without saying anything, my dad is a man of very few words, just went to the school and installed another door handle down where I could reach it. But he went one step further. He also entered the stall, the bathroom itself, and screwed in the walks, because you have to remember, too, when you use the bathroom, just those walks that, twist, were up so high.
Wow.
So he put some in that were my height, and then he left. He didn't ask permission. Nobody knew he was doing it, not even my mom, until after he was done.
I actually love that. I think that is so sweet. Now, at this point, just so we can have some reference, how tall were you?
Sure.
How tall were you at that age, and how tall were other children?
Oh, goodness. The math is not my strong suit, but at that age, I want to say I was about 3'6".
And how tall
Maybe about between 3'6", 3'8". And when you think of your average 5-year-old, well, my son, Titan, he is 5 years old, and we are eye length, or eye level rather.
Mm-hmm.
We can look each other in the eye.
And
so they're pretty tall.
And how tall is he now?
I'm 4'10", and my son, he's about my height.
Okay, so he's about your height at 5 years old. Okay, gotcha. So it just gives us some kind of a reference point. So then, if we fast forward, it was really at 8 years old where your mom started to say, hey, I don't want my daughter to struggle this way. She's strong.
Mm-hmm.
She goes through all these surgeries, because everybody, just so you know, it's not... To have dwarfism means you do go through a lot of different surgeries, but your mom didn't want you to go through that. Can you share with us about that moment, her decision, and what you decided to do?
Sure. My mom is a realist. She is, if you could picture, I often call her that she is like G.I. Jane. She knew that she wasn't going to live forever, and she was very forthcoming with that. So in her mind, I'm not going to live forever, and you're not going to be dependent on other people. I don't want that for you. So she made the decision, we're going to do this radical procedure of bone lengthening so you can do things on your own. So one day when I do die, you're not dependent on someone to, for example, open up a bathroom door.
And you were saying that your dad was not supportive of this surgery. And
No.
parents do have children of all different special needs, and I'm obviously I'm blind. You were you had dwarfism, and what and so how did they stay together? Your parents? Did they make it through? Are they together today?
Well, it was the source of a lot of arguments. My dad was against it. In his mind, I was his little girl. He was going to live forever in his mind. All I had to do was go to Daddy. He could put me on a shelf, dust me off, and anything I needed he would do. But that's not reality. But that's what he wanted reality to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I can certainly understand that now as an adult and as a parent. My mom was a lot more hard, and they fought constantly about this. And my mom, well, she won. It was, hey,
She was the winner.
Join us on this.
Hey, Tiffany. Tiffany.
Yes.
We're going to have to go to a break, unfortunately, but there's a lot more to this story. So we're going to pick up on your mom being the winner when we come back from this break. So stay with us, okay? And everybody, we'll be right back after this break. Stay with us.
You got a key?
Go fish!
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today.
We just finished dinner and it was time for homework. He hates homework. I know he's bright.
Why is it so hard for me?
He's just gotta try a little harder.
1 in 5 children struggle with learning and attention issues. Go from misunderstanding to understood.org.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
I dare you. I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. Getting that college education.
I dare you to be somebody important.
Like be a teacher. Or a reality TV star. I dare you to stand up here. To call the shots. To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you. Have a career that really means something? Then do it. I dare you.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Papa! I see you mobbing over her. Let's go. Let's mob. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, we mobbing. Come on, girl. Let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl. Hey, let's crawl. Hey, yo, let's crawl.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul,
Estimated time, 47 hours.
they will beg,
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
they will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out. Now you're talking. Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He knows he's a pretty big deal. How could you not love him?
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to.
Hey Gabby, how you doing? How's the play date and sleepover?
Dad, it was great.
Awesome. Okay, I'm on my way. Hey guys, what are you doing?
We're going swimming. We're going biking. Yeah.
I'll see you in a little bit, guys. I love you.
Hi, babe. How was school today?
Hi, Dad. It was great.
Okay, honey. I'll be home soon. Remember, you're never too far away from your kids to be a dad. Reach out and take a second to check in, because sometimes the smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
I adopted Bento from a shelter, but a lot of people know him as Keyboard Cat.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a trusted life coach, Nancy will help you overcome setbacks and embrace all life has to offer. Call in with questions live at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Welcome back to the Living Full Out Show. I am Nancy Solari, and today we're talking about strength and how we gain that strength that we need in our life to get through those times that just seem impossible. Well, our inspirational guest today, Tiffany DiDonato, it may have seemed impossible that she'd ever be able to do certain things, but she did partake in a controversial surgery, which she'll tell us about shortly, which allowed her to gain 14 inches. That's a lot of inches to be able to do more things than she could do without that surgery. So I'd like to welcome Tiffany back to the show.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, so before we jump back into talking about this surgery that you went through, can you share with our audience, what is your condition called specifically?
Specifically, it's called dystrophic dysplasia, and it's one of the rarest forms of dwarfism, or it's just a rare form of dwarfism.
And do you know why? Did your parents ever find out why one child would be a dwarf and why would not?
Well, that's a good question. My mom knows really how this works. To put it simply, what my understanding is, both parents have to carry the gene for it, and the odds of meeting someone with the gene to make, a baby that has dystrophic dysplasia or dwarfism they're in the millions, I want to say. I should just play the lottery, I guess.
Well, maybe in some ways you were the lucky one because it's actually giving you such an extraordinary life and story. So maybe your parents need to go to Vegas and just roll the dice because they got you, right?
That's very nice. Good way of thinking about it.
Yeah, we always have to look at the humor and the light side of it all because otherwise, dun 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 dun, life can be overly serious, right?
Yes, very true.
So obviously, we were talking about in the previous segment that there was this surgery, and your mom was like, "She is doing it." Your dad's like, "She's not doing it." They battled it out. Your mom won, but what exactly was the surgery? Can you tell us about that?
Sure. It's basically, and it's very easy you can Google it as well. They break the bone, so it would be the tibia and the femur, and they break it right in the center, and then they place rods. It looks very much like the horror figure Pinhead, at least in my mind. And they put the rods and they protrude out of the skin, and it kind of stabilizes the bone. And then you turn the pins 4 times a day, and it slowly pulls apart your bone. And essentially, you're tricking your body into thinking you have a bone, like a natural bone break. And in the end, once you get that desired length, that gap, that initial break gets bigger, bigger, and bigger, and that's where you get your length or your height, in my case. And then it fills in. It on its own, when you get that amount that you're happy with, it just fills in, and just like a normal bone break would do. It's miraculous.
So is the pain in that twisting? I mean, in some ways you're like, I can't twist anymore, or where's the pain come from?
No, and that's what a lot of people think, that the pain is with turning of the pins. That's the easy part. The easy part is, cleaning it and turning it. The hard part, the painful, excruciating part, is the rehab. It's the physical therapy. It's the carrying on with life's everyday things, getting up out of a chair, walking to the bathroom. You have to function with these things in your muscles, your nerves, your skin, your bones.
Wow.
That's the painful part.
I'm kind of getting the goosebumps just thinking about it, but you're my hero. You did it. Now, the thing is, you did it at 8 because your mom was bound and determined that you were going to do this. But at 15... you decided to do it again. But what was the epic point that made you want to do the surgery again?
Yeah, everybody has a breaking point. That, that moment of, okay, I'm done, time for a change. Get the power back, as, you and I discussed. And real quick, yes, my parents are still very much together.
Okay, well, good. Yay, that's good. That's good.
The breaking point for me, and you got to remember, too, it was over years of seeing differences of, I want to drive. I want to get married. I want to reach that juice on the 3rd shelf of the refrigerator. I want to chop an apple on a counter. I don't feel like getting a stool first. I don't feel like searching for tools to maneuver and do something so many kind of take for granted. But one of the breaking points for me was when I joined the sports medicine group in high school. And for me, sports medicine made sense. It was doctors, tape and scissors, nurse safety scissors, things like that I've already been familiar with. I knew about ice. I knew about that. So it made sense. But again, the sports medicine coach didn't like how I adapted things to suit my body and my needs. One of the tasks that we had to do was put our feet in cold water, or put our foot in cold water filled with ice. It was a trash bucket, because the lesson behind that was to know what the athletes feel when we need to ice their foot after an injury, say a football player on the field. I can't do that. I have arthritis. That's part of the nature of the beast. That's what I like to say. It's part of my condition.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked, could I put my hand in the ice? Because if I put my foot in, I would be in so much pain.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't like that. It had to be what she said, what everybody else was doing, or that's it. She put me in the middle of the classroom. She sat me down on an egg crate, and she said to me, and I will never forget this, I don't know what kind of disease you have, but obviously you are a dwarf. Maybe this is not the right activity for you. Why don't you tell me what you can and can't do? It was never said to me before that I had a disease. I never, we never really had a sit down in my family about why I was different. I did things differently. That's all. So I went home. My friend told my mom what happened. I didn't even have the courage to do so. And my heart was broken.
Yeah.
It was broken. And at that point, I was over it. I was over it.
But being called out and being picked on, and by a teacher, nevertheless, a coach, is never a good feeling. And I know your hero, your dad, rallied again, and he did his own work on this too. But aside from that, in terms of that moment, to go through all of that surgery again, all of that pain, I can see why you wanted to reach that third shelf, and I can see all that. But wow, how did you have the strength to go through that surgery again?
For me, it was multi-pronged. It was the ticket to an independent life. It was never again will I ever be told that I cannot do something, because somebody says I'm too different for it. As anybody who's been bullied knows, those moments do change you. And it was just, there's something better, there's something greater, there's something else I can do to live the life that I want that many may not think I can do. And that's what kept me through.
I love it. We all need that drive. We all need that sense of purpose. And what are we striving for? What are we shooting for? So when you did this surgery at 15, was it just as painful, or because you were, older at this point, was it worse? Was it better?
That's a great question. Nobody's asked me that before.
Oh, thank you.
It was really, really worse. It was 10 times worse because I gained more height. Part of the deal was if I was going to go through this, so initially the first set of bone lengthening procedures, I received 4 inches, 2 in the shins, 2 in the thighs. That's the recommended safe zone, I guess you could say. You go beyond that, and you're risking a lot. The bone could cease to fill in. There has been a case that happened. You're risking, some nerve damage and things like that. But in my mind, it was, I'm all in. Let's see what happens. So I was able to find a doctor, as he says, fresh out of med school, just as, rebellious as I was at 15 years old. And he looked at me in the doctor's office and said, if we're going to do this, we need to have, contact and communication here and trust. And I agreed. And he did not put a limit on my apparatus and how much I could gain. And I gained 10 inches in total.
Wow.
So that makes everything from 8 to 15, 14 inches.
Wow. Everybody, I told you she was amazing. And I mean that. And I don't think, when I slip on some heels tonight, when I go out with some friends, I'm going to think of you, right? I mean, because that's an amazing amount of height. 14 inches.
Make sure you get a martini with those.
Well, then you couple that with my blindness, I might be on the floor within seconds, but that's okay. But either way, as we kind of close up today's interview, what words of encouragement or advice do you have for somebody today who is different? You were a dwarf. I'm blind. Everybody's got something. And how do we not feel bad for it?
Oh, Lord. Just never settle. Everybody has something. Some you see, some you don't. Nobody's perfect, but just never settle for what you want in life, no matter what anybody tells you. And if somebody tells you no, let that be motivation to do it anyway.
I love that. Yeah, I always think of no as a not right now. It is never a limitation. So I want to thank you so much, Tiffany, for being on today's show, because you've opened our eyes to to your growing up, how I think that it's important that we acknowledge everybody at all heights, all shapes, all sizes, all colors, you name it. It's just about embracing those differences. So thank you so much for being on our show today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you, and absolutely. No is fuel. That's all.
I love it. Thank you, Tiffany. And to everybody listening, we're going to be coming back taking your calls. But again, we're talking about strength. So think about, where do you need more strength in your life? And let's get that for you. We'll be right back after.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
When they test you, stand firm and move only when you hear the seatbelt click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
Everything starts out small. The things that hurt us, they all start from somewhere. The words we say, the things we do, they can grow into something else. What was small and innocent can become big and sometimes scary. All it takes is one comment, one picture, one video for something to catch fire. But a big problem doesn't need a big response. Not at first. Even if we don't know what to say, the eye emoji can be that first step we take. Let's all pledge to take that first small step together and change the world in a big way. I'm a witness, and so are you.
I dare you. I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. Getting that college education.
I dare you to be somebody important.
Like be a teacher or a reality TV star.
I dare you to stand up here.
To call the shots.
To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you. Have a career that really means something?
Then do it.
I dare you.
Red shirt, blue shirt, yellow shirt. Oops. Yellow pants, red pants, green pants. Oops. Oh.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Go, okay, quick. Oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah. We're getting so wet.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples apples and bananas.
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
When you hit the crossroads in life where you're dealing with a challenge, a tragedy, a crisis, I always want you to remember that strength is within you. You are the one that can pull it out whenever you need it. You never have to find it. You don't have to think you don't have it. It's always going to be right there inside you to serve you in living your life full out.
You're listening to Living Full Out with Nancy Solari. As a certified life coach, Nancy can help you to overcome challenges and start living full out. Call in with questions live at 800-333-0001. Once again, that's 800-333-0001. And now, here's Nancy.
Well, here we are, final segment of the show. I can't believe it, but we're talking about strength. And I know that in listening to our callers today, our guest, Tiffany DiDonato, I mean, the strength that we all have within us, it's something that we can tap into. We can even grow and improve in time. But know that you don't have to do things on your own. So part of getting strength is when you get it from others. There's times in my life where I'm having a day, I can't see something, I want to go do something, but I can't do it, and I need somebody to help me. And that's the key word right there, is help. It's okay from time to time if you have to reach out your hand and say to somebody else, I'm feeling not strong today. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling uncertain, concerned, scared, fearful, you name it, depressed. When you can come to somebody and say, can I come to you for some strength? You can get strength from other people, and you can also give it away. When you call people in the next several days, I want you to check in with them. I want you to find out, how are other people in your life feeling? Are they happy? Is life going great? Or is there something happening in their life where you could give them strength? It's this constant exchange, and that's what living full out is about. We've all talked about before that concept of getting to the top of the mountain. You don't want to be up there celebrating life. Everything's going great, but you're by yourself. You want to take people with you. And then vice versa, they want to take you with them. And that is when we can be of strength to each other to get us all to where we want to go. Now, I'm getting word from our producer that we do have another caller on the line, so we're going to go say hello to them. Hello, welcome to the Living Full Out Show.
Hi.
Well, hello.
This is Alona Rod.
Well, hello. Tell me, what's going on today? How can I help you?
Well, Nancy, I'm kind of like an in-betweener in my life right now with kind of kids coming back from college and then like the sandwich community. And I tend to be a people pleaser and want to avoid confrontation. And my stress increases when I try to be available to help my family with things that need to get done, but I have my own to-do list to do. And right now I tend to have to travel from California to Arizona to visit my 89-year-old mother who's ill so I can help her with doctor appointments. So how can I reduce the stress that I'm feeling?
That is such a great question. And there's a lot of people raising their hands right now at home saying, I hear you, I'm with you, because there's always going to be things that we have to balance. You have an extremely large load. So it's going to come to scheduling. It's going to come to putting boundaries in your life. And sometimes having a team meeting. Your kids, how old are they?
I have a 20-year-old that's home from college, and I have a 30-year-old that's coming home to live with us for the summer for a few weeks from Madrid, and she has 3 small children.
Okay, so your kids are of age that they can definitely manage themselves, but then the grandchildren that they're obviously younger. The thing is, I think what would be helpful is to kind of have a team meeting, maybe once a week.
Oh.
And the team meeting can be fun. Maybe it's incorporated like a family night, but if you guys don't want to commit to, hours and hours on end, at least have one team meeting that maybe lasts as an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, get some treats, a time to all connect. And what is everybody doing? What is everybody doing this week? Where does anybody need my help on something? How can I be there for you guys? And at the same time, in that team meeting, you can share with them, well, I'm going to go to Grandma's, I'm going to go to Arizona, and it's just about conversation. It's just about keeping them up to date with what's going on with you as well. I think a lot of times parents feel that they need to be the superhero, the one that makes everything okay and the one that looks like everything's okay. But they're going to learn so much more from you when you share with them about the stresses that you're under. Because those stresses, they're coming 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line. If you keep that in the closet, if you hold that back from them, they're not going to learn the lessons of balance, the lessons of how to do all these things that you're dealing with. Does that make sense?
That does. I'm setting my boundaries and giving them life lessons.
Absolutely. And I'll just share with you, I remember when my mom was going through her divorce, I was like her 10-year-old counselor, but I was starting my life coaching career early, right? At 10 years old, helping my mom through the divorce. Your kids can learn a lot from you when you tell them about what it's like to be a caregiver, what it's like to balance being a grandmother and a mother and your own personal dreams and goals. That's what will make you as a mom a superhero, by telling them the truth and being honest with them. Is that something you can do?
I think I'm going to start with a meeting as soon as they all arrive.
Perfect. Have fun. Let me know your address. I'm happy to attend. And no, I'm serious. Have a great rest of your day, and thank you so much for calling in. I know you can do it. Okay?
Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Bye.
Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye. So everybody listening today, really when it comes down to strength, it's really about just knowing that it's within you and you can get strength from other people. You're never going to be without. That's the good news. You're never going to be in that place of despair or hopelessness. It'll always work out. I promise. Thank you to everybody who is listening today, our entire team here at Living Full Out. We have Rich and Annalie and Elizabeth and Zoe and everybody puts this show on. And I want to thank most of all you for listening. We'll be here again next week. We appreciate your calls. Again, go to livingfullout.com to the radio show tab if you want to listen to this episode again, or reach out to us at connect@livingfullout.com if you have a story or questions related to this topic. Thank you so much, and here's to you living your life full out.